Oh, what? Where's... Oh, look, now we've got sound. There you go. Nothing's fucking working. Internet went out, and then for whatever reason, that meant there was no sound. You're probably going to hear... Can you hear that twice? Oh, you probably can. Who knows? Meanwhile, still no sound on my fucking... on my iPhone. Why? Refresh! Refresh! There we go. Now we've got sound on the iPhone. Bloody hell. So the internet went out while I was on intermission. And then, you know, came back. OBS reconnected and everything. But for some reason isn't sending sound. Sending picture, but no sound. Alright, good. Good, we're done. Close that. Get back into it. Go to bed. Ah, nothing works. Oh, you're tuki papa. Blade, I should get some rest soon. Yes, go to sleep. Go to sleep, you nutbag. Yes, there is sound. Thank fuck. Ah, technology, man. Must have been hit by an EMP or something because, yeah. The iPhone started acting weird. The iPad, which I was brought into the room, was acting weird. The internet went out, although it didn't look like it actually went out, but it went out kind of thing. And then, of course, OBS has lost its damn mind. Mr. Druckerlin, a few more letters for you. Give me them letters. Give them to me. Take care. Thank you, sir. Safe travels. The first letter is from Reverend Mathieu. How you doing, you old git? Mr. Druckeren, I was not acquainted with your family during my years at Kiersau. Even so, I remember your father was one of the townsfolk who prevented the peasantry from burning us alive. I am not overly inclined to assist the people of Tassing in their endeavours to catalogue the origins of the abbey they destroyed. However, it was a long time ago. In the interest of posterity and Christian charity, I will tell you what I recall. Sometime after the Romans left, Christians settled in the region and built Kiersau Abbey on the ruins of a fortress. The abbey was founded by a nobleman of the Kiersau family. Noblewoman. She was both its patron and its first abbess. Perhaps 2 centuries ago, Kiersau changed to being run by an abbot. I do not know the reason, but many other double monasteries did likewise around the same time. It may have been done out of fear of being shut down, as double monasteries were frowned upon by the Ope? The Pope. Right. The Ope. The fucking Ope, huh? The good old Pop. Sadly, that is the extent of my knowledge. Your neighbours put any other records about the abbey to the torch. Sic asit historia Kiesus. Thus burned the history of Kiersau. We cannot change the past. I have heard that Sisters of the Poor Clares have formed a new chapter at the abbey. I can only hope that their love of apostolic poverty has not driven them to impoverish the shrine of Saint Moritz. Christian doctrine that calls for followers to live without owning personal property or accumulating money. While it was condemned by the Catholic Church as heretical, its defenders claim their practices are based on the lives of Christ and the apostles as described in the scripture. How very Buddhist. Assuming they have not consigned the contents of Kiersau's former occupants to a bonfire, you may find something there. It's hard to be overjoyed at the news of your neighbour's late regrets. Why did Stream Elements just take that long to restart? And put a message in. What you doing, Stream Elements? Many of the injuries inflicted 18 years ago will never heal. Regret cannot undo what has been done, but we can all find redemption through Christ. We must pray for love and reconciliation in the days ahead. In the end, that is all that matters. Winter comes swiftly, Huguenots and Lutherans plague my homeland. Huguenot. A group of French Calvinists known for their vocal and sometimes violent opposition to the Catholic Church. Thank the Lord you still live in a land ruled by the one true church. I hope this has been some help to you and yours. May God keep and protect you. The most revered Matthew Forsythie, Archdeacon of Sion. Like full means false. So his name is False Saucinier. So there was a group of people named the Sauciniers, and a group of other people who had to be called the False. What that? What that? Ah, another reply from Esther. Oh, Magdalene. Terribly sorry to hear about your father. My parents send their deepest condolences. If we can provide you with anything from Prague, you need only send word. Here, how about the best doctor you've got? I know we are further away than is easy to travel, but I will see what we can do. See that we can do what Hashem allows. Literally, the name in Hebrew, this is a way to refer to God indirectly in informal conversation or writing. He who shall not be named. Father says that he remembers no one who would want to harm your father. Your father. Yet, the night I was born, he remembers great strife in town. Yeah, no shit. No shit, Sherlock. Perhaps there is old blood over depicting the night of the revolt. That is all he could suggest. We pray for you and your father every day in our offerings. Hashem will make things all right in time. He will exact justice on the culprit. I am encouraged to hear that the town council let you continue the mural at all. The guilds here would protect your right to complete a job, especially once a contract has been reached. You give the men of council too much grace. Why should you be forced to settle for their old ways of thinking? We live in a new age. An age where art and science have come together. An age when all may read the works of the great sages in their own language. Truly, when your father recovers, I urge you to come visit me in Prague. But I am glad you found some joy in your work on the mural. We are all well here. Elisha has been carving a new set of wood cuttings, and father has agreed to a new contract with the university. I found Simond. His family didn't move far away at all. He's planning on working as a doctor in the city once the expulsion order ends. His parents have been meeting with mother and father quite often now. I hope that I will be sending good news in my next letter. With Hashem's help. Please inform us of your father's condition in your next letter. Be well. Esther. Oh my. No Myas. Gaius. That's all the letters I have for now. I should head home and check on Dad. Sure, you do that. Werner was supposed to come check on Dad today. I wonder where he is. When Till Eulenspiegel pretended to be a doctor, at least he showed up and his patients felt better. What's Werner's excuse? Maybe I should try and find him later. Ah, good morning, Magdalene. Good morning, Dad. Feeling any better? Your fever broke at dawn this morning. A little stronger, all things in time. Do you want anything to eat before I leave for the day? I'm working on the next section of the mural today. I'm not so hungry right now. I'll be all right. Your letter from the Archdeacon? Yes, that's right. What did you learn from him? He seemed sad over what happened during the revolt, hesitant to tell me anything. He didn't have much to say. He was still upset about the Abbey's destruction. Well, I'm pretty sure he still hates everyone in Tassie. He did say the Abbey was founded by a noblewoman after the Romans left. Everything else burned in the fire. How unfortunate. I know the brothers kept careful records of the monastery. So much lost in one night. The Archdeacon did suggest the poor Clares might have held on to some of the records from the convent. Convent! I should be able to learn more about Tassing's Christian history there. Excellent place to start, Magdalene. Sister Gertrude doesn't come out of the convent much, but I think it's worth asking her. Maybe Father Thomas knows something too. I should talk to him. If I recall correctly, the miller's wife has a long family history in Tassing. He may know something of the local history that the others have forgotten. Elsa? I thought she moved here when she married. She doesn't have any relatives in town. Not anymore. Age, illness, and marriage took the rest of her family. But the Caviezel's used to live all up and down this valley. Go talk to her, I will. Thanks, Dad. Maybe something remained in the Abbey's ruins. I should definitely see what's left. Magdalene, you be careful. Those ruins are dangerous. I won't go far into them, Dad. Just take a look. They can't be that dangerous. The ruins have been sitting there for almost 20 years. I'm going in there, Dad. You can't stop me. I won't go far into them, Dad. Just to take a look. All right, wear a scarf too. It's getting cold out now. I can feel it in my old bones. Don't worry, Dad. I'll see you tonight. All right? All right, good luck. I think those little dotty things all up here is probably smoke from the fires. Is that what that's meant to be? Sunday frogs. Sunday frogs, huh? Ah, so I didn't actually get to see this, but there was a mass release of frogs from the tabernacle on Sunday, Ras, while the whole town was in attendance. I'm certain the twins had something to do with it. You're not just certain, they told you. They told you. Reverend Matthew suggested the poor Clares may have preserved whatever was left in Kirsau after the fire. I should talk to Sister Gertrude about visiting the convent and the abbey. Father Thomas is always talking about Tassing saints. I should ask him more about them. Dad also suggested I talk to Elsa up at the mill. He said her family has lived in Tassing for generations. She might be able to tell me about Tassing's history. Hello, Magdalene. Hello. So, we've got Father Thomas. Right, but where would... There's the mill. Alright, let's go up to the abbey first. We're going to do it in the order. Excuse me. You'd think during that break I might have filled my water glass, but I have not. I have done nothing of the sort. Let's refill water. I'll be back for you, Father Thomas. That is your real name. Martha and Carl. Uncle Carl. But it's still so beautiful here, Martha. One more moment. Alright, take your time. Oh, hello, Magdalene. Dad, look who it is. Good morning, Mistress Thruckeren. Hello, Martha, Carl. How are you today? I'll be right back. Let's grab a pillow. There we go. Well, the meat bag's grabbing a pillow, obviously. I don't need pillows. I'm virtual. On our usual walk around town, November hasn't grown too cold yet. Dr. Stoltz says Dad needs to keep using the leg or the pain will get worse. And I'm getting old, a lull chortle. Not so old you can sit around at home telling stories, eh? You listen to your daughter, Carl. You're about the same age as my dad, aren't you? Hasn't he earned a rest? You listen to your daughter, Carl. Eh? You young girls think you're my keeper, is that it? I've always been your keeper, Dad. No arguments from me there. You're in a good mood today, I see. Plenty of reason to be. Tassing never ceases to be beautiful to me. Isn't the meadow a wondrous sight, even in this season? On days the Lord strengthens me, I like going a bit higher up the mountains. Used to admire the view with Anton from there. Who's Anton? Oh, Anton, my poor boy. It's all right, Dad. I'm sorry, Carl. Not your fault, Magdalene. Just a babe then. I can't. It's my fault that he died. It's not, Dad. You know it's not. He shouldn't have been with me that night. He shouldn't have. I was a fool. Let him continue. The abbey was engulfed in flames. The heat, you wouldn't believe it, seared the hair off my eyebrows. I was bleeding. Anton tried to drag me out of the fight. Then that godforsaken Lanschneck stepped between us. I hope he burns in hell. I can't even imagine what that was like. How old were you during the revolt, Martha? 7 or so. I didn't understand what was happening. Someone brought Dad home in the middle of the night. It was dark, confusing. There was screaming outside. Mum and a couple of the men who brought Dad in were trying to patch up the wound, but it wouldn't stop bleeding. She kept shouting, "Where's Anton? Where's Anton?" There was blood on the floor. You cried so much you threw up. We couldn't get you to stop. I couldn't understand where Anton had gone. Dad tried to explain, but... Martha, my dear, enough of that. I'm so sorry. How did you go on? Did I? I don't know. Some nights I think I am there still. The abbey is always burning. My Helena passed not long after. I was left alone with Martha to care for. Wait for him to continue. I had to keep going for Martha, and somehow my daughter grew into a wonderful woman despite it all. I suppose that was all Helena's doing. Dad, if I'm any good, it's because of you. Thank you for telling me about the night, Carl Martha. Time doesn't heal, Magdalene, but it does dull the ache. It's time we continue with the walk, Dad. Yes, dear, I'm feeling much more alive now. Really? You just been remembering terrible things? Be well, you two. Really? Really? Ooh, what's that? Snow is creeping down the mountains. Winter will be here soon. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. Up, Abbey. I should talk to Sister Gertrude since she was a Benedictine nun at Kearsarge before the Portclairs arrived. She would be able to tell me all about the convent's... Why do I keep saying convent? Convent's history of for the mural. Convent. Oh, it's all burnt down. All burnt down. Oh, there she is. Hello, Gertrude. I hope you're well. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask of you. Of course, Magdalene. I'll help however I can. I have a book, the Historia Taciae, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? Oh, I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry, Magdalene. That's all right, sister. I'll have to find another way. There was one more thing, if you don't mind. It's about the Rat House mural. Oh, did you need more paint? I believe I have enough galls stored away. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I wanted to ask you about the history of Kearsarge, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of tassing saints to the Rat House mural. I wrote to Reverend Mathieu since he lived at the Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Ah, Brother Mathieu became a reverend, did he? He was always suited to such a role. But I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me a bit about its history. The Portclairs don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother Francisca wouldn't like anyone coming in for such a worldly concern. Who's that? Who's that? I understand. However, Mother Francisca always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Like that. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life, Ah, yes, I see. Well, I suppose exploring all of my options can't hurt. I've always been drawn to your veil, sister. There's something about the fashion. Ah, yes, I see. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go see Mother Francisca now? No, I have other things to do first. Very well, come find me if you change your mind. God bless you. Why am I touring the convent and pretending that I want to be a nun? God dang, what's in the shrine? Have they reopened the shrine? How did the hand was in the convent, in the fucking monastery, wasn't it? The hand of St. Moritz, the Portclairs take care of it now that the Benedictines are gone. Hand of St. Moritz. God damn, handy that guy, wasn't he? He's handy. Oh, you gotta give him, you gotta get handed to him. Lol. Alright, well, let's go talk to the mill woman.
Eva.
Was it Eva? Ah, Pet Susa. B is double S, right? It's Sube. I don't know. I don't speak German. Oh, read it. Andreas. Oh, they named him Andreas. Hello. Master Mueller. Oh, it was Marla, wasn't it? You can call me Magdalene, Andreas.
Magdalene.
Magda works too.
Magda.
There you go. What are you up to today? Drawing.
Roaring.
Anything interesting?
No, secrets.
Oh, I see. I'll leave you to it then. What a brat. Well, Howl. Good morning, Magdalene. How's the mural coming along? I'm making good progress. I've started working on the history of the saints today. Good, good. Tassing is a pilgrimage town, after all. I trust you'll take the council's opinions on the matter into account. Of course, Paul, the mural is for the entire town, not just me and my father. I'll listen to you, but ultimately the decision on what to paint lies with me. You couldn't decide what should be on the mural for months. I'll stick to my own decisions, thanks. I'll listen to you, but ultimately the decision on what to paint lies with me. Of course, you are the craftsman in this endeavour. Or craftswoman, as it were. All I ask is that you keep the Lord in mind. The mural is for Tassing, but we have others to appease as well. I understand. Well, thank you, Magdalene. Anyway, I'm glad that the mural's coming along well. Forgive my sudden questioning about it. I've been so busy preparing for the council's next meeting, I haven't had as much time with Anna as usual. Who the fuck is Anna? Who the fuck is Anna? He says I get a bit frantic when I'm overwhelmed. Maybe you should take some time off from the council, Paul. Haha, chortle lol, and let Jorg, Werner, and Boltas run the town on their own? Lord, can you imagine? They'd be at each other's throats within a day. Christ, can you imagine? It took us 3 weeks to agree to institute yearly maintenance checks on every home in Tassing. The ideas had quite a bit more pushback than we'd anticipated. New ideas always face some kind of opposition. I don't think you should let that stop you. I can understand the utility of the proposition, but it might feel like a nuisance. I can't imagine why. I'd certainly love it if my neighbours nosed their way into my house every year. Getting pushback against something you want to do? God, how horrible it must be for you. Yeah, gonna snark him. Your point is taken, Magdalene. We agreed to let you paint the mural. In any case, the matter is far from resolved. I imagine spring will come before anything is actually done. I'd better get back to work. Thank you for letting me interrupt your day, Magdalene. And God bless you. Until later, Paul. Until then. Where's Eva? Mueller House. Elsa, oh, not Eva, Elsa, Anna. There's kids everywhere, bruh. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, Anna, how are you? Oh, keeping busy. There's always plenty to do around the house. How is the mural coming? Paul mentioned your progress is quite impressive. Oh, I'll have to thank him. That's high praise from a councilman. I'm making steady progress. I think I'll be finished just before the new year. Didn't realize the council cared so much, especially since I wasn't their first choice. I'm making steady progress. Oh, how wonderful. I'll have to bring Andreas and Ulrike by sometime to see your progress. We won't get in your way, of course. I'm sure they'd love to learn about the process. You're all more than welcome, but watch your step. There's plaster everywhere. I've just mixed a new batch to keep the wall moist. It's hard to maintain the right texture when it's so cold out. Oh, I can imagine. I had a similar problem when I helped my mother in the bakery. Rolling dough in winter was such trouble. We had to throw out so many batches that wouldn't rise. Your discipline is admirable, Magdalene. You know, I was a real rascal back in the day. Skipped on working with my parents more times than I can count. But you're so hard-working, Anna. I can't imagine you making trouble. It's funny to consider, isn't it? I was a thief and scoundrel. It started with cakes from my mother's table, still hot from the oven. Soon it was silverware, mugs, trinkets I found around town. Ulrich's little hat once even belonged to Andreas Mahler, your father's friend. I stole it from his head. That's right. So yes, that's right. And then she was the one confessing to stealing things during. Oh wow, there has been a story this whole time with her, and I didn't even really notice. Of course, stealing is against the Lord's commandments. So my father would make me return everything if I hadn't eaten it already and marched me to church to pray. Father Thomas grew accustomed to seeing me more often than Sunday mornings. I guess you got tired of saying Ave Marias? Lol, that was part of it. I grew out of the habit over time. I think I started to see why my parents had such a devotion to the Lord. Stealing was my way of acting out. But when the trouble started in town, I realized that my thieving wasn't doing any good. Not to mention, I saw what happened to Martin Bauer. I decided I'd rather honor my father and mother as God commands. It gives me grace with Andreas and Ulrich on the hard days, and with the rest of the town too. I think everyone could learn from your example, Anna. Hopefully from my present one rather than my past. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure you have plenty of mural work to do. I'll see you later, Anna. Until then, God bless you, Magdalene. Ulrike, that's hat. The hat. Magdalene. Hello, Ulrike. Ulrike, hello. What are you doing? Watching. Very well. Keep up the good work. Work. Haha. Just like Mom. I will work now. Okay. Absolute fucking psychopath in waiting, apparently. Elsa, we must talk. Magdalene, dear, what brings you up the hill? I want to ask you some questions for your family, for the mural. Dad was telling me your family's been tassing for hundreds of years. Oh, is this for the mural? I'm not sure I want to get mixed up in that. I won't depict your family specifically, if that helps. Are you sure? Hardly any family's been in town as long as yours. I won't depict your family specifically, if that helps. You're one of the few people who knows anything about the town after the Romans left. The Muellers have been a pillar of tassing for generations, yes. Though I'm afraid I only know a little bit about them. And much of that I've heard from others. Lenhart didn't care to talk about the past. I meant your family, the one you were born to. Your family name was Caviezel, wasn't it? Oh. Not a soul in town has asked me about my family in years. I was beginning to think my neighbours had forgotten us. I am not surprised your father remembers the Caviezels. He was sweet on my sister before he met your mother. I am the last of us left now. Is that a local name? I should think so. My grandfather told me the Caviezels have lived in Tassing for hundreds of years. Perhaps even 1,000, though it seems impossible to imagine a time so long ago. Were they Romans? No, the Caviezels were part of the old people, the original Bavarian people. They helped to resettle Tassing after the Romans left. Built their new home right on the spot where they had been living when the Romans arrived. Interesting. Doesn't that seem unlikely to you? Oh, who can say? Why does a story need to be true? However true it may or may not be, it doesn't matter, Magda. It matters that I believe it, that it connects me to my ancestors. When I think of the ancient Caviezels driven from their land only to find it again and become Christians, they feel nearer to me. Do you understand? I think so. It's like when my dad tells me stories about courting my mum. I don't know, it's a strange way of thinking to me. I'm going to go with that one. I know it doesn't feel like it, but you are so young yet. Keep your heart open to Christ, and one day you will understand. Thank you, Elsa. You've given me much to consider. Oh, God bless you, Magdalene, dear. You have given me nothing. You have given me jack shite, brah. I talked with Elsa about the history of her family. She said that they were displaced from their land by the Romans, but returned to the same spot as Christians after the Romans left. I think it might have been the same for many families in the centuries following Tassing's abandonment. It might be nice to commemorate the return of the local people in the mural. You're terrible, Muriel. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go down here. Oh, we're at the church. Do we just go straight to the church? No, we... Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Let's talk to Father Thomas. Let's talk to Father Thomas. I know you killed Otto. I know you killed the Baron. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. Do you have a moment? Of course. What can I help you with? I wanted to ask you about Tassing Saints. I'd like to represent them in the Rat House. I'm thrilled to hear it. The Saints will make a wonderful centerpiece for the murals. You misunderstand, Father. I may incorporate them, but there are other... not as a centerpiece, simply as part of Tassing's history. Of course. I consider our saints to be central to Tassing's history. Kiersau's too. But you know there is one saint you're overlooking. Contemplate this. Why, the Blessed Virgin, of course, Mary. Many people forget that Mary is the greatest saint, and she visited one of the peasants here in Tassing centuries ago. The Virgin Mary appeared in Tassing. Why? Yes, she appeared to give a message. From the south of France, apparently. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted him to tell the Bishop of Freising that she had appeared. The peasant travelled down to Freising, but the bishop would not see or hear him. I keep listening. The peasant returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed him a pattern, a labyrinth. She told him to draw it on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawing to the Bishop of What was it, Freising? Why didn't she just give him a labyrinth the first time? Now just keep listening. The bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but he could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hands. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. He met with the peasant, who told him of the 2 apparitions he had seen here in Tassing. The bishop was moved by the peasant's story, and he came here to Tassing. The bishop came here? He did. It's the only time the bishop has come to Tassing. Has ever come to Tassing. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. Had no idea that's where all this had come from. It's not a story I tell much anymore. I suppose the people here think of Moritz and Satya, their connection to this place. Mary is such a core part of their prayers that the prayers that they forget about our particular Mary. But in any case, Our Lady's demands were clear, so the bishop helped fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassing have been using it ever since. You're not from Tassing. How did you hear the story? When was the painting made? I think if I include the saints in the mural, I'll place Our Lady among them. You're not from Tassing. How did you hear the story? True, I am not. The people told me when I came. And the former priest told them when they were children, and so on. The priest and the flock have shared the responsibility of passing on the story over the centuries. Thank you for the story, Father Thomas. Have I convinced you to include the saints prominently in the mural? You know, you actually have. I'm still considering it. I wouldn't be too hasty, Father. I'm still considering it. Well, if deliberation fails you, perhaps you will find that prayer gives you great clarity. God bless you on your work, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. What about the fucking reading of the Latin? He was one of the people to talk to. Father Thomas told me about the history of Our Lady of the Labyrinth and how it came to be. I never realized there was a legend associated with it. I could paint Our Lady along with St. Moritz and St. Satya. That would be a nice way to honor all 3. Wouldn't it, though? Wouldn't that be such a nice thing to do? Bro. Alright, we need to talk to the... What was his name? The inventor. The inventor. And I want to have a quick squiz at the rat house here to see if we've already started the mural at all. Oh, boo. Boo, motherfucker, boo. Wanted to see the mural. Where was Isken Stoltz? Was it this one? It was this one. I need you to translate some shit. Hello, Baltus. Do you have a moment? Only one, I'm afraid. What can I do for you? Came across a book about the history of tassing, and I was hoping you could help me read it. Oh no, not today. I'm far too busy for that at the moment. Nuts, you and I have our hands full preparing the Christmas ale, you see. Of course, sorry to bother you. No, not at all. Apologies I couldn't be of more help. You scum and villainy bastard motherfucker. What a dickhead. Alright, back to the fucking nuns. Back to become a nun. Get thee to a nunnery. Apparently I'm going to pretend to be interested in becoming a nun in order to see the convent when it's actually the abbey that I want to see. What is going on here? Nothing makes sense. What you doing, rabbit? What you doing, Rabbo? Rabbite? And there's another rabbits everywhere. And squirrels. Ah, so many rabbits and squirrels. No, that's not the right place. This is the right place. I am ready now, Sister Gertrude. God bless you, Magdalene. Would you like to go inside and meet with Mother Francisca now? Yes, let's go. Mother Francisca, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Druckerin. The printer's daughter, yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Oh, thank you, Abbess. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about, Sister Gertrude? You know our holy rules. Why bring young Mistress Druckerin to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. She was encouraged by the idea. Ah, right. Yes. Encouraged. I wonder that you've never come up the abbey. I wonder that you've never come up to the abbey before, Mistress Druckerin. If God is calling you to the convent, I am more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you interested in joining the Poor Clares? I'm worried that helping my father, running the shop alone, and finishing the mural are too much for me. Well, if I become a sister, I won't have to marry, which is far better than being stuck bearing kids for the rest of my life. I had a holy vision. Saint Satya told me that I was destined for higher things. I'm worried that helping my father, running the shop alone, and finishing the mural are too much for me. Magdalene, you should not abdicate your worldly duties for fear of the unknown. However, I agree that working a printing shop and painting are not suitable duties for a woman. Hang on a second, my grandmother is screaming at something. I'll be back. Right, however, I agree that working a printing shop and painting are not suitable duties for a woman. You're an idiot. Thank God you have turned to us for help. It's no wonder you have felt overburdened by all of this. Please come. I'm happy to tell you more of our order. Now I don't feel so bad. Our small convent used to be part of the larger Kiersau double monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the poor Clares live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassing as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? Honestly, kinda. I'm not entirely certain yet. I'd like to explore and look around, get a feel for the place. Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a laywoman bothering the sisters from their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come find me and we'll discuss your decision to join. No, we won't. Finally, I thought she'd never finish. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. Convent? For some reason, my brain goes nunvent, and then I say convent instead of convent. I'm looking for references for a mural I'm painting at the Rat House. Well, I'm going to take a look around. Where are we going first? Now that the lecture is over, I can get on with what I came here for. Are you coming? Where are we going first? The convent has many parts: the kitchen, the aquarium, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop, though no one uses that old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. Visiting the poor Clares. I've been given permission from Mother Francisca to enter the convent. Sister Suzanne will be accompanying me to answer my questions. I should explore and see what I can learn about the history of this place. Excellent. Chapel, aquarium, kitchen, art studio. Gotcha. Well, we always start on the left. So, Margaret. Hey. Hello, Margaret. It's Magdalene. Oh, Magdalene, God bless you. You don't normally come to the convent alone. What brings you here? Not that you're not welcome, of course. It's always wonderful to have visitors. I had some spare time and thought I would say hello. Oh, well, hello. Ha ha, ha ha ha, ha, get me out of here, please. Leave me. Save me. It's so good to see it. It is good to see your voice, though. Hear your voice, though. I enjoy it when outsiders visit the convent. Do you miss the outside world much, sister? Yes, sometimes. I miss the other Benedictine sisters especially. She'd never admit it, but Sister Lisbeth had the most wonderful voice. I always stood next to her if I could. Why stay then? Why didn't you leave when the Benedictines left Kiersau? Truth be told, I was too frightened to leave. Kiersau was my home. I didn't like the idea of becoming accustomed to a new place. Learning the convent's ins and outs was hard enough. I never went outside the convent much anyway. I know where everything is here, even if it's changed over the years. Sister Gertrude had already planned to stay too. The garden always needs tending, and 2 hands make light work. Besides, I can't leave a Mousefanger behind. Kiersau is a wonderful place to call home. Of course, she truly is Queen of Kiersau. I can't imagine how drafty and lonely the convent must have been after everyone else left. Of course, she truly is Queen of Kiersau. Has the convent changed very much since the poor Clares arrived? Yes, the food is simpler and some of the prayers are different, but the chores and gardening are the same. Gertrude misses making ink for the scriptorium, but I've enjoyed learning the sisters' new customs. Speaking of which, I should probably return to my chores. Of course, sister, apologies for interrupting. Not at all, Magdalene, God bless you. Alright, let's start in the kitchen then. Bruh. This is the kitchen. There's not anything that interesting here. What are you doing? Are you brushing that fish's head? Sister Marie and Sister... I don't know what that meant to be. Usabo? Lissabo? Ilsabo? Take care of most of the kitchen duties, but everyone pitches in when needed. Okay, fish. Oh, Isabeau. Ah, Isabeau. Okay, fair enough. I know that word, that name. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. That's very noble of you. Shouldn't someone else be helping you, sister? That seems excessive. That's very noble of you. Just as Lord gave Paul a thorn in his side, so too did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith, just as God. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. I don't believe the Lord wants us to suffer, sister, but didn't Christ die so that we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? Yeah, let's do that one. In the next life, yes, but what's it gonna say? Even Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. Thank you for sharing your perspective with me, sister. You are most welcome, child. Bless you. Lord bless you. God bless you. Something bless me. I didn't read it. God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? Only these sick burns. No, sister, I'm learning more about the convent's history so that I can finish a mural in town. Yeah, well, let's just be honest. Ah, I see. This kitchen has been used for decades, longer than I've been alive, to be sure. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to butcher the animals. Sister Isabeau has graciously taken that task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel butchering any animal is wrong according to the rule of St. Francis. Mystic friar and founder of the Franciscan order. Born in Assisi to wealthy parents, St. Francis was called to a life of poverty and preaching. With his follower St. Clare, he helped found the Order of Poor Clares. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything here from the convent's founding days? No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. Though some nights a ghost appears to me by the cook fire, a lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. Sister Marie, not this again. Not to Magdalene, please. Could it have been a ghost of one of the sisters from the founding of the convent, maybe even St. Tassia? That's ridiculous. Ghosts aren't real. What made you think you saw a spirit, sister? The figure rose up through the very ground we stand on at vigils, not a fortnight ago. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there was something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God now that it rests on holy ground. A spirit in Curacao? Why would it come to the convent, though? A Roman spirit might be a great addition to the mural. I don't know that the council would approve, though. Let's go with a Roman spirit. It breaks my heart to think this spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Sister Marie too upset. Of course, God bless you, sister. God bless you, child. Oh, child, things are gonna get easier. Convent courtyard, but what have we got here? Chapel. And the loquarium. Oh, we're gonna do the chapel. Right. A mural. This is the chapel where we all gather for Mass. Mass? What am I saying? Mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent. And the most drafty. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the abbey from its earliest days. Oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. But that's where the graveyard was. Interesting. Yes, the tower was a Bergfried long before the structure became a monastery. A freestanding defensive tower not built for permanent habituation. The duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. They had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tassing from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. God called Lady Sabine to lead her sisters and brothers in 1261. Lord Kearsal's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. Thank you, Sister Suzanne. Yes, the first lists the abbey's founding date. Lady Kearsal was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters were not here for some of what occurred. Even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred should remain. Kearsal is unique, a double monastery with 2 saints, 1 male and 1 female, to guard the town and abbey. The foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire. It seems odd that a monastery would reuse a place meant for war and force. Fascinating to think that even before the Duke gifted it to the church, the fortification was founded by St. Moritz. So the foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire. Many things have been built and torn down on this land over generations. Who knows what else used to be here? Used to be here. I thought she was laughing. You are right, sister. This mural will be a great reference for the rat house. Then I'm glad to have helped, and God bless you, Magdalene. Alright, get out of here. Let me still talk to her. Why should we talk to her? Yeah. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, Sister Gertrude. How are you faring? The sisters and I have been praying since Father Thomas informed us of your father's attack. You were incredibly courageous to run to Dr. Stoltz so quickly, especially when the attack could have been about. The attacker could have been about. I had to do something, even if whoever attacked Dad was still there. I had to do something. Didn't even think of that. I acted on instinct. I only knew Dad needed help as soon as possible. Honestly, sister, I was terrified. I only thought of Dr. Stoltz because there was so much blood. I had to do something. The Lord was with you that night. I'm thankful you were not in harm's way. I lit an extra votive candle in St. Satcha's shrine for each of you this morning. Small candles lit during prayer in churches, symbolizing a specific offering or request on the behalf of the prayer giver. Thank you, Sister Gertrude. Dad's spirits have been up, but I know he doesn't have much time. Dad says that the pain has gone down, but Dr. Stoltz is worried about a brain hemorrhage. He hasn't been able to get up and walk around without my help, Sister Gertrude. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Oh, Magdalene. I wish I had better words to share with you, child. All we can do is follow Dr. Stoltz's expertise and trust in the Lord. I'll see if I have any psyllium left in the convent. If you blend it with broth or warm wine, it will heat his brain and prevent infection. Thank you, sister. I'm grateful for all the help everyone at Tassing has provided. The church is body of Christ, Magdalene. We are all one community and want to help Klaus before his time. God will turn this for good no matter what things look like now. Nom, 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 nom. God sees beyond time itself. He sees beyond time itself, but we are constricted by the present. I have been around long enough to see fruits even when I thought the devil had burned the fields. His fruits. Keep faith, Magdalene. I'll do my best. God bless you, sister. God bless you, Magdalene. All right, psyllium. Nice. Nice. And we can get the psyllium husks and have some nice fiber. Oh, child. What the? Where are we? Where are we? Whoa. Where are we going? Here's the Loquarium. Most of the Abbey's visitors come in here but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother Francisca said, isolation is part of our vows. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedictine sisters used to go out into the town sometimes and even talk to men on occasion. And I'm stuck here staring at these walls for the rest of my life. Are you... Doesn't seem like Sister Suzanne thinks much of her life here. It must seem like a boring life to her. Even so, she doesn't seem to have the passion that Sister Gertrude and the others have. If she hates her life here so much, maybe I should encourage her to leave the order. Must have chosen to stay here for some reason. Maybe I should encourage it. No, leave the order. And she can translate my Latin thing. Better to leave while she has a future ahead of her. After all, there are plenty of young men in Bavaria who would make good husbands. Still, there may be some reason she chose to stay. I don't want to overstep my bounds. Are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? I don't know. My father promised me to the church as a baby, some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the Poor Clares the summer I turned 17. And they took you in just like that. Nobody asked what you wanted. I'm so sorry. No one should be forced into a life they don't want. This will be remembered. We daughters are born to bear our family's legacy. Between our legs or on our backs, it doesn't matter. My family is something to the church. Is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. We can only do the best we can. I pray that one day it'll be different. I understand I have more autonomy to go where I want, but I'm still bound by the expectations of marriage and homemaking. It's not so bad, is it? This one. I remember the days of running around town. I wish I could have gotten married. I wanted to be a mother. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Marguerite. At least they got to see something of the outside world before they were 20. Hey, you're protected here from the plague and the Protestant rebels. It's a good life. Why don't you leave? I think you're lucky you don't have to deal with boys. If you could do anything else, what would it be? Don't forget Matilda and Wash Love. They used to be part of Kersel too. If you could do anything else, what would it be? This will be remembered. I would have liked to go to one of the big cities at least once. I would have been happy just to be a shopkeeper's wife. Sigh. Thanks for listening, Magdalene. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Lead on. Okay, so that's it. We're done. What do you mean the rest of it? Then we've got to go outside, I guess. Courtyard. Brr, it's colder today. Oh, brr. There's not much in the yard that could help you, I think. Anything that was here has long been covered in weeds. All I know about this place is that the walls were added when the convent was built onto the monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Sister Suzanne, God bless you. Ugh, this ice is hard. Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice. Yes, you'd have seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother Francisca allows only one sister to deal with the townsfolk. Benedicta received this privilege. Burden, more like. I have to run around everywhere gathering all the food and doing all the chores. I'd rather be inside where it's warm. What are you doing up in the convent anyway? Snooping. Oh, don't let me get in the way then. What an adventure. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Oh yes, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than home. And I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters, and I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold like this. One more question, Sister Benedicta. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts lately? Ghosts? No, everything has been more normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. This is about Sister Marie's ghost. I think it's Mauritius myself. Oh no. Who? Mauritius. Don't tell Mother Francisca this, but I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. It said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town hidden in the valley. It was a miracle. Christian refugees? Yes, the book said that they were fleeing Roman persecution, maybe under Nero, I don't remember. A Roman emperor known for his cruelty and persecution of Christians and Jews, as well as his disinterest in the Roman people. He famously fiddled as he watched a fire ravage Rome. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius, trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about his tower being turned into an abbey, could he? What did you do with this book, sister? I had it with me in the kitchen one day, and I accidentally laid the fire poker on it. Stare in shock and horror. Sister Benedicta. I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Magdalene. It's alright, that book probably would have gone unread otherwise. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I suppose it's better that the book got some use before it was lost forever. How could... Oh, never mind. I'll go with this one. Besides, that story gives me ideas for the Rat House mural. Thanks for telling me about the book, sister. I won't tell Mother Francisca. God bless you, sister. Lol chortle, thanks, Magdalene. God bless you. Well, I never. You know what? This is going on forever, and it's actually time to stop. So we'll pick it up tomorrow, whenever, next time. See you next time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for existing. Au revoir. Goodbye. Jesus. Yes! We're doomed. Oh, no, we're not doomed. Oh, we're doomed.